Hi guys! This week Bambulab sent us a new updated version of the AMS unit for us to check and test. In this video, we will show you the new AMS unit and also all the electronics inside of the X1 Carbon 3D printer. You want to know all the details? Then stay tuned! Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Rui and this is the Rui Raptor YouTube channel. If you want to help us out, you can by giving this video a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also help by joining our Patreon page or by clicking on any of the affiliate links posted below in the video description. So, in the previous videos, we covered the details of the X1 Carbon 3D printer, the slicer software, and the graphic user interface, all from Bambulab. If you haven't seen those videos yet, check the video description below for the links. As we mentioned on our previous videos, the X1 Carbon is available with or without the AMS unit. AMS stands for Automatic Material System and will allow us to load up to 4 filament rolls so that we can print models in multicolor. This week, Bambulab sent us the updated version of the AMS unit for us to test. This updated version is the one that will be sent to all the customers. Inside the box, we can find the warranty papers, the filament buffer. This buffer needs to be installed at the back of the printer and it's used to make sure the tension of the filaments is within a certain range so that the extruder inside the printhead can work more precisely. This buffer is exactly the same as the previous one. Next is the fitting to connect the PTFE tube that comes from the buffer to the PTFE that goes into the printer, and the screws to secure the buffer to the back of the printer. And finally, the 2 cables to connect the AMS unit to the buffer and the buffer to the printer. And of course, the AMS unit. From the outside, we cannot see anything different when compared with the previous version. Inside we can find the second PTFE tube that will connect between the buffer and the printer. Our previous version did not have these warning stickers to remind the users to remove the plastics off the desiccant bags. Other than that, the only major visual difference between this new version and the older one is on the vertical fins, if we can call them that, where the RFID readers are located. The new unit has cutouts on those fins. All the most important improvements are inside the unit. According to the manufacturer, the main changes of this new AMS unit are related with the RFID and firmware support. RFID means Radio Frequency ID. Each filament spool from Bambulab has an ID, and the reader from the AMS unit will detect it and this way knows which filament type and color it is. For filaments from other brands, and because they don't have this ID, we need to manually input the filament type and color in the printer's menu. The new AMS has new firmware that can support the identification of the new RFID tags. Our older AMS unit can still work, but will not be able to get new firmware support. As for the loading mechanisms, they seem to be the same. At the back, and as we have shown on our first video, there are a couple of connectors. You only need to connect one of them to the filament buffer. The second connector is used if you want to add more AMS units. According to the manufacturer, you can have up to 4 AMS units connected and print up to 16 colors at once. For that, you need a special hub like this one. This hub is not yet available for us to try, so we have to wait a little bit more until we can connect the 2 AMS units and make multicolor prints with 8 filament colors. As for the X1 Carbon electronics, we shown lots of details on our first video. However, many of you asked for a few more details, so here they are. Inside the printhead and at the front, we can find the hot end and extruder. At the left side, we see a lever. This is actuated automatically at the end of the print and is used to cut the filament before retracting. It uses one of these small blades to cut the filament, and this way prevents the retraction of the filament with melted tips, which could cause jams. The hot end is all metal, which can take up to 300 degrees C, and the manufacturer provides them as pairs with or without the electrical components. This is because you only need to remove 2 screws to replace the entire hot end, which is much easier than replacing the nozzle. The cables from the printhead go inside a small cable chain. At the back of the printhead, we have access to the printhead main board. This board is equipped with a 32-bit SPC1168 microcontroller, and it's responsible to control all the components of the printhead, including all the sensors underneath that will scan the filament lines, first layer, and so on. The main board and rest of the components can be found at the back of the printer. At the top, we can see 2 belt tensioners. At the left is the big fan that pulls the air from the inside out. This is also the one that has the air filter that can be seen from the inside. At the bottom left is the power connector and the Z stepper motor. This stepper motor turns the 3 lead screws that move the bed up and down. From underneath, we can see the belt and also the belt tensioner. At the right, we see the power supply. It's a 24 volt and 4.5 amp model. It's not a powerful power supply, but in fact, the printer does not need a powerful one since the heat bed is AC powered. And above the power supply, we can see the main board. The main board is equipped with a 32-bit SPC2168 microcontroller. As for stepper drivers, this board does not have the traditional Allegro or TMC drivers, but instead it's equipped with a few AT8236 single-channel H-bridge motor driver chips. The motors don't run silent, but they perform very well at high speeds and accelerations. And that's it, you guys. Hope you liked the video. We will continue to bring you updates, so stay tuned. We will see you guys next time. Bye!